Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Giselle and this is my channel, and today we are back with another episode of Building a Business Wednesday. Today we're going to be talking about inventory and budgeting, so if you are interested, then keep on watching. So damn important. Everything you do shows me. Today we are talking about budgeting first, and then we'll go into budgeting leading us into inventory. So when it comes to budget, you really want to think about a number that you want to have when you're thinking about starting your business. So when I started my business, I didn't really have a budget, and that's something I wish I would have did. So saying I want to start off with $1,000 and I want to build my business with $1,000, which it can be done, okay? $500, it really can be done too. You get what I'm saying? It's just certain things you have to think about. So the first thing you want to think about is there a number that you have in mind when it comes to starting your business? And how do you plan to get that number? Do you already have it saved up? Are you getting some type of refund check from school? Are you waiting on some money to come in? Or are you using credit cards and a credit card point system in order to leverage that amount to get that amount of money that you need to start your business? And what I mean by that is a lot of times we use our debit cards and we swipe our debit cards and we make no money off of each of those purchases, okay? So let's just say if you had a credit card that had a point system like Discover or Chase, where if you swipe your credit card, each time you swipe it, you get a certain amount of points that can turn into money back. So that is a great thing because you want to, that way you're really making money for your business without really having to save any money. You get what I'm saying? You already use your debit card for a lot of purchase, pizzas, Chick-fil-A, nails, eyelashes, hair done, everything. You're swiping your debit card all the time. But what if you could use your credit card instead, and the money that they would have just taken out of your account for each purchase, you applied that to pay for all those charges on your credit card, and now you have $700. You have 7,000 points or 70,000 points. You get what I'm saying? And now that turns into $700 that you really didn't have to save up for to start your business. So a good thing is to use credit. Use a credit card with a point system to start your business, and really forming your budget around a credit card that has a point system, because you want to a lot of these credit cards will give you like, oh, if you sign up for a credit card with us, you get 70,000 points off the bat. So that's 70,000. If you just spend like $1,000 within the first couple months, you get $70,000. You get 70,000 points to start off with, which usually turns into like $700 or $700, I think. And then you get to build off that, which is great, because if you think about it, I want you to think about how many times you swipe your debit card and how much really in a month you go over $1,000. That's nothing. You get what I'm saying? So a great thing to do is really to think about getting a credit card with a point system and using those points to leverage into cash to buy inventory for your business. I think that's a great way to start with. And then also you can buy your inventory with that credit card, which you also make money off your inventory, but also your inventory is protected. That purchase is protected just in case anything ever happens with that purchase or never coming in. You can always get your money back because the credit card company will usually side in your favor, and then they'll just go back and forth with whoever you buy your inventory with. So it's really great having a credit card for your business, or having a credit card in general, just a personal credit card that you decided that you're going to buy inventory or buy things for your business through. It's great because your purchases are protected and you can always be able to track how much you spent. So the next thing I want to talk about is buying inventory. And I just really wanted to jump on in it. Okay, so a lot of people buy their inventory from Alibaba. Okay, and Alibaba is really a great place to buy inventory because you really get to see everything. You get to see so many different vendors. And these vendors are people that that even celebrities use. Everybody goes to Alibaba first. And then unless they go on to visit like China or Korea or stuff like that, but a lot of people use Alibaba to get an idea of what they want. And so Alibaba, DHgate are great places. Even AliExpress, I've used AliExpress too when looking at inventory. So the first thing you want to think about is, like the last episode, what is your business going to be about? What type of products do you want to sell? And then you want to go on one of these websites, Alibaba, DHgate, AliExpress, and you want to type it in the product you want. And you want to start digging around at different products You want to start digging around at different things and looking at, oh, like what best fits you and what's best fits the idea of what your brand is going to be. And then you really want to start having a conversation. What is their MOQ, or minimum order quantity? Because a lot of these vendors on Alibaba, at least I can say from Alibaba, have a MOQ. They want 50. You have to buy at least 50. You have to buy at least 10. You have to buy at least this. You get what I'm saying? So you really want to think about that when buying inventory, because for me personally, I believe that somebody shouldn't start off with a lot of inventory, because I started off with a lot of inventory. I'm behind my inventory right now, and I started off with bonnets, clips, and headbands. And if I could go back in time now, I probably would have just started with bonnets first, because those really sold themselves, and then the clips were a little bit harder, and the headbands were extremely hard to sell. So for me, I would say start off small, start off with one product. And I know it sounds weird, because when you think about a website, it's like one product, that's it. Yeah, but it gives you a chance to see how your marketing tips is going to go before you start adding things in. Because it's not only that let's say you think about getting 3 products. Yeah, you can get 3 products, but then you have to worry about how you're going to market those 3 products. Can you market them well to the point where the marketing turns into conversions and purchases? You get what I'm saying? So one thing I would say is go on Alibaba and find a vendor that you like, start talking to them, asking them what their MOQ is. Who do they ship by? Do they ship by DHL? Because DHL tends to be faster when shipping comes. Can you get samples? That is so important. Okay, when I was starting my bonnets, I had got so many samples from vendors, and yes, it is a little bit expensive to get samples, because they usually charge you more money for one than if you had bought 50, it'll be less. So like for one, it'd be $20 plus the shipping, because they're only sending you one, but they're shipping it across seas, so it's going to be expensive. Versus when you did 50, and then they'll just be like, oh, and then you can kind of negotiate the shipping, and then or you can negotiate the prices, so then it'd be like $3 for each bonnet. You get what I'm saying? So you really want to think about that. Like you really want to get samples. You want to sample out the vendor. You want to look at the quality of their product, things you may not like, things that you like. You get what I'm saying? Things like that. You really want to just get samples, get as many samples as you want, because really your first time launching your business is very important. How people see your business at the beginning is very important. So get samples. And so on Alibaba, I'll insert a little video here, but in Alibaba, when you find a vendor, they usually have a samples thing, and you can just click that and then determine how many samples you want. But the main thing I would say is find a vendor. Look at the different vendors, find one you may possibly like, and start talking to them, asking them, do you offer samples? Can I purchase a sample? How much is your samples? Do you have a MOQ, a minimum order quantity? How much is that? Is your pricing negotiable if I buy right now? If I was to purchase, is your prices negotiable? Who do you ship by? These are things you want to have. You want to have those in conversations, because ultimately, if you really like their quality and you keep purchasing from them, you want to build a relationship with them, and they'll start to look out for you. You get what I'm saying? Because they know you're coming back each time. So it's very important to start talking to them and building that relationship. Now, understand that when you talk to these people, you never really know who you're speaking to, but you just really want to just start the conversation. And if they talk to WhatsApp, get a WhatsApp. But a lot of times, if you use Alibaba, they have a messaging system where you could talk to them. Now, understand that it is a time difference. So when we're going to sleep, they're waking up. So you really have to stay up late to talk to them and get the information that you want, or else you'll just be going back and forth, because you'll be awake, they'll be asleep, So that's something you have to think about. So just plan to stay up late and talk to vendors. What I like to do is I like to just go through during the regular day. I like to go and start having the conversations, and then I know that night they'll probably respond to me, so I'll just stay up and talk to them. And then another thing you want to do is download whatever app you decide to use, whether it's Alibaba, AliExpress, or DHgate. You want to get the app, and you want to have your account set up so that you get notifications when they're sending you messages back, because that's very important. And even on Alibaba, you can think about getting packaging on there. So you want to look up custom packaging, custom boxes. For me personally, I believe that custom packaging should wait a little bit later until you started your business. For me, when I started my business and I just did regular bubble mailers that were just the color of my business, my color brand were my brand colors. So I'll show you. I got these packages from package bubble mailers from Amazon. They gave me a pretty good amount. Like it came like 50 or 60, I can't remember, but it's a good amount of these. And I got these from Amazon, and they're my brand colors. Remember I told you they're pink and black. That's my brand colors. So for me, it was just like, packaging goes in the trash. And although, like, if you have a lash business, then I can understand packaging. But for me, I just have bonnets, and it's not like people keep the boxes, you know. So I would invest in custom packaging, but I would just wait until I'm getting more of a return on my business before I decide to do that. For me, regular bubble mailers, and you just add some cute things inside, which we'll talk about later on in this series, is enough for me. And a lot of people really thoroughly enjoyed it and felt the same way as if it came in a custom box. And I'm going to show you ways to make custom packaging in a more affordable way. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, because I'm telling you, I'm giving you all the deets. But yeah, so if you want to start off with custom packaging, that is okay. Look at Alibaba, find vendors, and start talking to them, and start creating the idea of what you want your custom packaging to do. You need to already have an idea of what you want this stuff to look like. So get on Pinterest, find brands that you like to have good custom packaging, start screenshotting it so you can be able to send to your vendors so they can be able to tell you if they can provide that. Always get samples. If you don't learn anything from this episode, always get samples, because what you don't want to do is you don't want to order the MOQ of that vendor, whether it be 50, whether it be 100, because it is high. You don't want to order that much and then all of it be wrong and then your money's wasted. Always get samples. Always budget that you will pay a good little penny for some samples, okay? Always budget that in when you're starting a business. So always think about that when you're starting a business. I have to get samples. I have to test this stuff out. I have to make sure it's good quality. It's of quality, because you don't want to waste your money, and you want it to be in alignment with your brand. You get what I'm saying? What we talked about, brand values, quality, penmanship, craftsmanship. You get what I'm saying? You want it to be aligned with those things. So if your brand values is quality, but you are offering this horrible packaging and this horrible quality of product, that's not aligned. You get what I'm saying? So it's very important to order samples, okay? Order samples. Another thing I want to talk about is, okay, let's say you found your vendor, you found your product, you've ordered it, it's come in. You always want to make sure that you count it to make sure you have all of your inventory, and then you also want to make sure that you check the quality of your product. And you want to make sure that when you're purchasing inventory off of Alibaba, that you are keeping a record of how much you spent. Now, let me just say this: when you're ordering inventory, you want to think about how much is each piece of inventory. So let's say you order 50, and so when you break down the numbers, it equals to $3.50 of it equals, each bonnet costs $3.50. So how am I going to price it to where I'm making $3.50 what I pay for, and then some? You get what I'm saying? You want your profit margins to always be 50%. It always has to be 50% or higher. Hold on. I'm gonna get my book, because this is my book. You'll see this a lot in the series. And so I wrote down, I have a page in here about pricing. Okay, so I can't find it right now, but I'm going to include an equation for how to figure out the best prices for your brand. And also I'm going to link the video that I used from YouTube on how to figure out how to price your products. But like I said, you always want your profit margins to be 50%. And even when you're running a sale, your profit margins should still be with 50% or higher, okay? Always 50% should be the lowest, but it should be 50% or higher. You should always be making money. You should always be making at least what you bought that product for, okay? If you didn't, then you're losing money. So 50% or more. So always price your products high, And when you think about pricing your products, always think about when I run a sale, Black Friday. You get what I'm saying? Or even when I'm ready, I just want to get rid of it. I still want to be making a profit off that. Now, sometimes if you really want to get rid of a product, sometimes you're just gonna have to take the L on it. But a lot of times, what you want to do is you want to, even when you're running those everything must go sales, you still want to be making at least what you spent on that product back. You get what I'm saying? So always think about that when you're thinking about pricing your product, especially Black Friday sales, because that's what something I really had to learn about is Black Friday is when people bring out the best of their sales. You get what I'm saying? And so when you do that, you don't want to price your product so low, so then you have to like you have to price your product high a couple months before Black Friday, so then you could price it back a good medium. You get what I'm saying? So you started off with it being $10, but now Black Friday's coming, so you done switched the price to 15, and then Black Friday came back, and now you have it at 12. I hope that makes sense. But what I'm just saying is, somebody that I learned from Jan Charté, I watch her, but a lot of things she said was that she hates when people switch prices. Because now Black Friday is coming and you didn't price your product well from the beginning. So now you're trying to figure out how you can still make a profit, but you've already been marketing your product so low that when Black Friday came and it's time for you to make your best deal yet, you're not going to be making any money because you never priced your product good from the beginning. So always think about that. Profit margins at 50% or higher. You always want it to be higher, really. So then when you're hitting those sales, you're doing those sales, you're always still doing it. So I would price my product. My profit margins was at 70%. When Black Friday came, it was like at 65. And then when my best thing, it probably hit right at 50. You get what I'm saying? So you always just want it to be a slow incline. You never want to hit below 50. You always want to keep in mind that you're trying to make back at least what you spent. That is the thing. Now, sometimes you just got to bite the bullet because it just didn't do as well as you thought it was, and you're going to have to take the L and be like, okay, I take this to the chin and I learn from it. But you always want to just make sure you're making at least what you bought back. And I'm going to insert, like I said, I'm going to link a video down below, and I'm also going to insert an equation of how to price your product. And some things that I wrote in my book, because this is my handy book. When I was building my business, I was writing everything in it. Crunch all the numbers, make sure that you're making a lot of profit in your margins. Like I said, start your prices high, so when it's time for sales, you're still in high profit margins, especially for Black Friday. The next thing I wanted to talk about is keeping track of your expenses. So we're talking about budgeting, we're talking about buying inventory, and we're talking about how to price your items when thinking about how you're going to price your items when you're buying your inventory. You don't want to buy high inventory because you're going to have to set high profit margins to make back what you want. You want to buy low and sell high. That is always the thing. Buy low. So that's why people always gravitate to Alibaba, AliExpress, stuff like that, because you can buy low and you can sell high. Okay? But the last thing I want to talk about is keeping track of your expenses, and this is so important. Okay, so you are buying all of this stuff on Alibaba, AliExpress, DHgate. You need to be writing it down in a book of how much you've spent as you bought. So let's say you bought your bonnets and the total came out to $300. You need to write that down, and you need to keep a business email. I use Zuhu Mail, but you can also I have Zuhu Mail for when I want to contact my customers and when my customers want to contact me. But I also have a Gmail where I make all my purchases through for AliExpress, Alibaba. So my Alibaba account is using my business Gmail. And from there, I can keep track of every time I purchase something through a vendor, every e-receipt they may send me, anything. You just want to keep a formal business email where customers can contact you, and another business email where you can keep documents, paperwork, receipts. You can keep email tracking things that may have came through the email through. So it's very important. So you want to write down everything. So I'm gonna show you. So like payments made right here, I show you everything I bought. Okay, every time I made a purchase, I said how much it was, because when and you want to write down the amount you paid for it with the shipping. Okay, and so that way you're keeping, even when you're filing your business taxes, you are keeping track of all that amount. You're keeping a track of that amount. You know how much money you have given out, because you need to know, you need to have that number to see how much profits you have made overall. You get what I'm saying? So it's important to write down your numbers, but it's also important to keep receipts. For everything you buy, keep receipts. I got this binder from the dollar store. It was just on brand for my business. And this is where I keep important documents, okay? I keep a folder in here. Then I got these little dividers from the dollar store as well. And so this just has my permits on it, like all my LLC paperwork and things of that sort that we'll get into the next episode. And then taxes, my EIN number, stuff like that, which we'll also be talking about in the next episode. And then here is the receipts tab. This is my receipts tab right here. And this, I got these little filers from the dollar store as well. And they have the year of each year in it. So each year, like here's 2021, I keep receipts of purchases I may have to make. So let's just say I had to buy some Amazon stuff, or let's just say I had to run to the dollar store and get quick packaging real quickly. I would buy it and then put the receipt in here. Let's say I had to pay for my pill box. I would get the receipt and put the receipt in here. What else? Any orders that I sent out that I felt like, ooh, maybe a little scammy, I'll get a receipt for them and I'll put them in here just so I can be able to find it. What else? If I had to buy makeup for a photo shoot for my brand, it's in here. If I had to put gas in my car to go from my house to the pill box multiple times a day, it's in here as well. Just, you want to keep receipts of everything. If you can print out your Alibaba Express receipts, then put them in here. But you always want to keep track of every little thing. Everything in it is an expense when it comes to your business. Every time you have to swipe your card for your business, you need to get you a receipt and you need to put it in here so that you can be able, so it can be beneficial to you through tax time. And I'm going to tell you how later, but you always want to get a receipt and you always want to keep track of your receipts. You don't want anyone to be able to tell you about your business. You need to be able to tell everybody about your business, okay? So get you a business binder for physical hard copy receipts. Now you have your regular email for when customers reach out to you. You have your Gmail when you're doing business through email. So like your shipping receipts go straight to the Gmail. Your Alibaba receipts go straight to the Gmail. Any tracking numbers for your business of other websites that you make purchases for your business, those tracking numbers, those emails are coming to that Gmail account. But you also need to keep a physical hard copy binder to where you can throw receipts in when you're making on the spot purchases or purchases in person, so that you can be able to keep track of your receipts. All of this cost me nothing but maybe $5 to $10, okay, if that. The binder was $1. These tabs were $1, and I just put the year on top of them, okay. And then I would get these dividers. You need to have something. Never let anybody tell you about your business. You need to be able to quickly tell somebody about your own business, okay? And so this is why it's important. I wanted to include this in when it comes to buying inventory and tracking stuff, you know, and budgeting, because budgeting and keeping receipts is very important. I know this video was all over the place, really, but I hope that I made some really good points. I really didn't want this video to be long. I'm trying to get these videos to be at least 15 minutes, but it's just so much information that I have to share and that I want to share with you guys, and I want to make sure that I'm being thorough. I know this was all over the place, but yeah, so next episode, I know we're a little bit out of order, but next episode we're going to be talking about filing your EIN number, which it really should have gone before this. Okay, it should have gone before this episode, but filing your EIN number, how you will do taxes, things of that sort, like how it's important to do that. That's what we're going to be talking about next. So yeah, EIN number, taxes, legal. When it comes to legal stuff, that's going to be a very short video because it's really straight to the point, and I really want to make some good points because there's a lot of things that you don't know when it comes to the moment you file your LLC and you file that EIN number, you can expect a lot of things to come your way in the mail that will have you dishing out unnecessary money. So make sure you stay tuned to that episode. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Always leave a comment. I'm always willing to share with you guys and answer any questions. And if I don't answer it in this video, I promise I'll add it to the next video, or I'll just write you back. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter. And I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for watching this episode of Building a Business Wednesday, and I'll see you guys in the next one.